Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness with three S's. I'm your host here, Chantele Francis, with my amazing co-host, Phil. How's it going today, Phil?
I'm doing good. How are you doing, Chantele?
I'm doing well. I booked a commercial, so I worked on a commercial 2 days ago, so Thursday and Friday. So I'm actually in the workforce again. I've been so and it's just been interesting. I'm like, oh, this is what it's like to have a life and leave the house and see other people. So I kind of feel rejuvenated in a sense to
oh yeah,
done something.
Things are opening up. It's great.
Yes, it's great. And if this is your first time here on Reality Realness, well then welcome. We're very happy to have you. Please do us all a big favor and subscribe just so we can just help build this community of reality TV junkies like we are. So today, we are talking about Big Brother, episode 23. We have about a month left of Big Brother, which is insane to me. Because it started off not slow, but there was a lot that was going on, but it wasn't. I can't believe that 2 months have gone by so already, though. You know what I mean?
No. Yeah, 2 months. Because it felt like it started. It didn't start early, but it felt like it started early, and now it's wow, we're already we're almost in September. Yeah. So of course, because a couple more weeks, and then Survivor starts and Big Brother ends.
It's just wild to me that we're kind of back on the regular summer schedule. And I'm I just remember when I was younger watching Big Brother, you knew that school was starting right when Big Brother was ending, and then Survivor would start during the school year. It's just it just really reminds me of my youth. Already. Definitely this has been a top tier season. Where would you rank the season right now, ish?
Well, I would definitely say it's probably from Big Brother. I'm going to even say maybe even 11. I liked 11. I think since 11, and people will disagree, but season 12 and onward, I think that this is my favorite out of all of those. It's been a long time since I really was this is a great, great show.
Exactly. I loved it. Obviously, season 6 was my favorite season. I loved all the seasons up to season 6. They got me hooked on the show.
Yeah.
I was finding ways to get the live feeds before it was very easily accessible. I was doing all these fancy things. So, then 9 obviously sucked, but 10 and 11 were also still good. I agree. And then it started just going downhill. Still enjoyable.
12 was good, but it was kind of predictable. It got a little boring. It was one, there was a strong alliance and they did quite well. But they did have some good characters as well in there. And, character-wise, it got good. But then, I don't know, it just started to doing this formula of who was getting casted. And it was I'm not enjoying this. So
interesting too is even in the older days, the people that were cast would probably never be cast today because there were some people that weren't as open and accepting, maybe prejudiced or even racist. It was prevalent back then, but the other people that they cast were just such great characters that it didn't I don't even think it mattered. And I'm definitely loving this season. I feel like it's definitely a top 11 season for me, top 12.
Yeah.
Maybe even a top 7.
Oh, I think it's up there. Yeah, I think it's very enjoyable. It's nice to watch it and there's not issues. I don't really feel like there's issues that come from it. People may have their issues, but they need to look at that themselves. Honestly, I there is no issue with the show. They should be applauded. This has been an alliance that has gone all the way. And really, I'm going to be shocked if they don't go to the final 6. I'm going to be shocked.
Yeah, I really, it would just be unlucky if they didn't, if they were to, Oh my God, sorry. It just started torrential downpouring. I could just hear it outside. I'm like, oh my gosh, sorry. Distracted. And I totally forgot what I was going to say. So we'll just say hi to BB. Yes, BB, let's do this. Sheena is here. BB, Chantele, what's good, y'all? Good, y'all.
Woo!
We are here. Our loyal friends, BB and Sheena.
I have to say, this has been nice. This was the first time in the season that we had a 60 minutes interruption. It's been the first time. Usually football and all of this stuff happens in the summer. It's like, when's Big Brother coming on? It's the first time that something's happened.
That was so weird. Like, because I was like, okay, maybe it's because usually there's a little tail end of 60 minutes right beforehand, and then it starts in the show. And then I was flipping back and forth between Global, so that's the Canadian station that we air Big Brother on, and then with CBS. So I was flipping back and forth, and both of them were still on 60 Minutes. I'm like, what's happening? It says Big Brother, and it's recording. What is it not going to start? And then it ended, and then it started like 10 minutes late. So I don't know why that happened. What pushed it ahead?
Yeah, oh my God, and that's why we were 10 minutes late.
Can you hear it?
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy rain today. Like, it's been on and off all day. It's like,
this is the first time it's rained today.
But like that's why we were 10 minutes late. It wasn't because of any other issues or anything.
I mean, maybe I don't know why. I don't know. Don't have a clue. Phil is consistent. He has the coins of destiny behind him. Yes.
Oh, Julie, I love her. I love Julie.
I really
do. You knew she was like, oh, this is a great moment for me. She was just loving that.
Wait, what do you mean?
On Thursday night when she did the Destiny. Oh. It's great.
Destiny. She always wanted to be in a Broadway musical or something.
That's right.
Yes, I thought I was tripping too, Chantele. Okay, so it wasn't just. I mean, if it was 60 Minutes, which is what is from the States, so it must have been something earlier on in the day has pushed things forward, like a special news interruption or something.
Something or football or something. I don't know. Yeah,
I think it was a game. Oh, I guess it is Sunday, isn't it? So I feel like it was interrupted by football, but like earlier on today. Right. Okay.
All right.
Well, I did love this episode. I know people are having some problems with Tiffany. Some people are not necessarily liking that she doesn't enjoy Sarah Beth, and she was kind of making fun of her on the feeds, and people are mad at Tiffany for that. And I don't know. People tease people and make fun of people all the time. For there to be so up in arms about that, but then not really up in arms about DF calling her the B word on national television when her children is going to be watching and her family. Like, not that he should be calling anybody that anyways, but like the fact that she's getting so much hate over like imitating Sarah Beth's voice. It's an interesting. What do you think about that? Why are they doing this?
I think people, there's people that are frustrated with how the game has gone, and they're looking for things to pick on people. And like, honestly, like we've seen seasons where there's been bullying. Like, I mean, season 21, that was bullying. Like, I mean, that was like, there was like, I don't think anybody in this house hates each other. I think that they all do respect one another. I mean, I even think Tiffany's been like respectful in the sense like she's like, it's been so hard to get Sarah Beth out. Like she's saying how good Sarah Beth is as a player. So I don't know.
People. Oh, Sheena needs to interject with something that we need to talk about. Julie Chen Moonbeds' wardrobe and how it has been so fire this season. Do you know what? She has been looking very good.
Yeah, very good. And over the years, I mean, we've seen some outfits, we've seen some, we've seen something she'll put on those glasses, and the Chen bod and all of that fun stuff that happened in the past. But now, like, she's very fashion forward. I think people should look at her and go, wow, that's something that I might want to wear. Like, she knows fashion. So good for
Definitely.
her.
Alex is this season. I
I,
mean,
I like that she still makes mistakes. Like, I don't want that to ever go away. That's part of Big Brother.
I think
Making
he has to. Like he makes at least one mistake every episode, like every eviction episode.
Yeah.
He does one little fumble at least. She is human. NFL game delayed 60 minutes, which delayed BB. All right, BB, you got all the tea. Thank you. Oh, Tiffany imitates everyone in the house. There's just a video of her imitating DF also. Well, that's the thing, is that like, if I was like, I'm pretty good at doing impersonation, so I would probably be doing that as well. So would people be thinking that I was bullying by the fact that I would be able to impersonate somebody? And like Hannah was impersonating a couple of months ago, near the beginning, like how everybody walked in the house. Is that considered bullying? Like, I don't know. I just like, I feel like they're trying to make Tiffany the bad guy just because they don't want to like her.
Yeah, there's a lot of factors, right? Like, they're in a house 24/7 with people. It's a little stressful. That doesn't excuse some behavior, but sometimes I can imagine it's stressful. Sometimes you got to get things off your chest. Sometimes people irritate you. You don't want to make it a giant issue, so you let off some steam. But I think is it being done with love? Is it being done with hate? Like, how I don't watch the live feed, so I don't know. But like, if she's doing it and there's hate in what she's doing, like if she's like, I hate Sarah Beth, then yeah, I understand.
Beth for sure. But when she's doing the impersonations, I thought the ones that I've seen was pretty funny. Like, he was like fighting with Derek F. And she's like, no, I'm staying here. I'm Sarah Beth, I'm staying. And she's saying it in Sarah Beth's voice. And Derek F was trying to push her out the room. And she's just trying to stay in the room. Like, I thought it was funny. But some people thought it was like mean-spirited. So, I don't know. People need to be sensitive about certain things, but then not sensitive about other things. It's funny. Okay, let's not front. We know why they are having problems with Tiffany. Why, Sheena? Let's hear it. Play up. Canada has a great Rose. BB23 has singing games, imitation, storytelling, etc. I know exactly. Like, Rose, they've happened for sure. Zingbot comes in there and like imitates or zings these house guests. So it's kind of also part of the culture of the game and entertaining each other while they're in the house without any other like television or whatnot. So
yeah,
I don't know. Hi, Victoria. It's the misogyny or misogynoir. Sorry. Okay, new word. Is that a real word? I don't know if it's a real word, but it's good. The level of hate against Tiffany is crazy. Yeah. I'm sure that if she was a man or if she was not white, nobody would be mad at her.
Well, and like let's be honest. She's playing the same game as everybody. All like that. They're six. They're playing the same game. The decisions have been all the same. And why is she the one that people are going? I don't like the way she's playing. Like, she's doing exactly the same strategy. She may have come up with a lot of it with them, but some of the other people have as well. And I don't understand why she gets the bulk of it. But there's people that are in that group that aren't getting that kind of hate, that don't seem to be contributing much to the strategy, and I don't know. Yeah.
So BB says, sounds like the hate against Tiffany and the Cookout is similar to the Rachel Lindsay hate. Absolutely. And so I don't know if you watched The Bachelor, Bachelorette, but Rachel Lindsay was the first Black Bachelorette, and she can't do anything right by Bachelor Nation. Like, obviously she's going to have the support of more woke people and people of color, Black people, so they're going to support what Rachel does. But she is blamed for everything that goes on in Bachelor Nation that has to do with race, because people turn to her for her opinion. She gives it, and then people are like, "Who asked you, Rachel Lindsay? Why are you speaking? Why are you standing?" Like, and so it's so much that she's actually had to step away from everything to do with the franchise now that her contract's up, because like she gets so much hate. Last year, she commented about, I think it was one. I don't know why she went offline, but it could have been because one of the bachelorettes, Hannah Brown, she said the N-word in a story, and that Hannah Brown messaged Rachel to see like, what should I do about this? How should I like go against the story? Like the story, like how should I, And so she was asking Rachel Lindsay for advice. And Rachel Lindsay is a very educated woman. She's a lawyer by trade. Like that was what her was before she became the Bachelor. So it's not like she doesn't have like schooling and intelligence and can see things from multiple perspectives. And so she gave advice, and then people were just like mad at her for like giving her 2 cents and like speaking out. Like, anyway, so she gets a lot of hate, and it's just because she's a Black woman. Yeah. All right, I had to stop following this one guy, Black man, who every week was trashing Tiff and saying she should be protecting Kai and Xavier at all costs, and was a traitor to her race for wanting to protect DX and Claire, as if we haven't been watching Kai and Xavier say they want to protect Alyssa and Sarah Beth.
Yeah.
Well, this is the thing, Victoria. I think I know who you're talking about. Can I ask if it's like the guy that does the rants? So yeah, he definitely like thinks it should be Cookout forever. Like you can't as Tiffany, you can't go outside the Cookout. And I understand that because like I've mentioned before, I don't know if I've mentioned it with you, but I've played some of these social games online where it's kind of like an unwritten rule that you just really don't go after people that look like you. So like I would never be targeting outright or call the first shot on another Black person. I also don't usually target anybody in the LGBTQ community early on. Like that's just how I've always played, and that's how a lot of people in the community play. And so I got into a situation where a Black guy was coming for me. And so I heard about this, and then I flipped the vote. This was during sequester. And then I ended up the next round, had the opportunity to vote him out. And so I'm like, well, he said my name first, and he was coming for me. So that means that like our, nod secret alliance or whatever because of the color of our skin is out the window because he's calling the shot, and I'm going to vote him out. And people came for me and saying that like I can't believe that she would go after this guy first and that she would take him out, like, and they didn't respect me making that move even though he was coming to me beforehand. So I think it has a little bit to do with Black women not standing up for the Black men, even if they're not doing the same. And that would piss me off if I was.
Yeah, I find it odd, like that somebody would say this. Like, I mean, from what we've seen, Tiffany is protecting the people in the Cookout more so than even her friends. Like, I mean, she made that tough call. She voted out DX. She's been getting if I have to pick between DX and Claire, DX will play better. So let's get rid of Claire. Like, I mean, she's the one who said to everybody, pick a person, be your person to help us get the 6 further.
Mm-hmm.
So, if people are complaining that Tiffany's not protecting people in the Cookout, I mean, I don't get that at all because that's not true.
She doesn't.
That's not true.
Same. Someone on here something about Rant and his name, yes, and how he just hates Tiffany. It's disgusting. Like, how can you, sir? Yeah, he definitely feels as though she is a traitor to Black people for the fact that she wants to keep her ally Claire and maybe DX in the game. Now, DX, like, he's also a person of color. He doesn't have anybody in the house that looks like him. So, like, you'd think that he would be supportive of Tiffany wanting to save Derek X. I know the guy. I listen to him sometimes, but sometimes he's very off, in my opinion, of his reads about things. And I'm just kind of like, no, I don't think that, because he doesn't like Claire at all. And he doesn't like Tiffany also for, like, working and partnering with Claire.
Hmm.
Thank you. Sorry, co-host didn't get your name.
Phil.
Dolores, I haven't
Oh,
ever. How you doing, Dolores?
I haven't seen Dolores forever since Amazing Race.
Right?
Wow.
We're talking about the same guy. Shaking my head. Yeah, I know exactly who it is. Did the brigade have the same +1 strategy that Tiff developed for the cookout? Yes, so they had. Yeah, +1.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
So yeah, it was the four of them. They each had their own +1, but they turned on each other with voting out Matt Hoffman way before, like the four. I remember it was at like I forgot when it was, but they turned on Matt Hoffman, so they didn't take their four to the end.
Right.
And I think that's how Brittany Haynes ended up getting like axed at, I guess, 5 because she wasn't. I can't remember how it went actually. So
4. She made it to 4. I think. Yeah, didn't Lane had to get rid of her or something like that. I think she was with Lane and that. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it was good, but they didn't go all the way. I really would be shocked if they don't go all the way. But I also worry that it might not be the best for everybody to go all. I mean, obviously, it isn't the best for all 6 of them to go all the way. I mean, it looks great. It does send that message. That's very important to do. But at the end, there's going to be one winner. And so you can make a case that some of them have made a mistake and maybe should have made a move. We'll see.
It's like Tiffany's not allowed to try to win the game.
I feel like, don't you kind of feel like in some ways that they've all sort of put this because of what this group that they've made, they've sort of put that on each other. They've that, it isn't, you're not playing necessarily your game. You're playing the game for the cookout.
But it's still very $50,000, and so you should still
you should. But it's so much going to be getting what's going to happen at 6.
Yeah.
If they all make it to 6, what's going to happen? That power at 6 or 7 if somebody makes a move is going to be huge. Like whoever gets that and makes that first move.
Well, what's being speculated is that it's going to be like either a triple eviction or a double and a fake eviction. We're not sure what's going to happen, but it's a 2-hour episode from 7 to 6. Wait, 6 to 5 to 4 or 7 to 6 to 5. One of the two. Which annoys me because like that's where I want to see the interesting gameplay and see people like scrambling when they have to turn on each other. Like, but it's just going to be like, there you go.
That works in a season when you don't have a 6. Like when you have a 6, you want that week of Big Brother so we can watch and go, what the hell's going to happen? You don't want that to finish in like 30 seconds. Like you want Big Brother.
It's so bad. It's so bad. Like it's just so bad.
Like that would I'm going to be glued at 6. Like going, okay, they're all gone. They got down to this. What's going to happen?
Exactly. And it's like,
they're going to go through so fast.
And then it's final four.
Wow.
BB, yesterday they also did the Onion Alliance. The Onion Alliance is usually what I do. It's an alliance within an alliance within an alliance, and then be at the center. That's kind of my style usually.
But I'm in the center, right? Right?
Of course, me and you. Final 2, Phil. Final 2.
I will always believe you, Chantele, no matter what.
Yes. And Misogynoir is defined as misogyny directed to Black women, where race and gender both play roles in bias. Okay, I just never seen that word before. I understood what it meant. It's a very good word. I like it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I agree. I agree. That's happening. Like you're seeing that the guys are getting the credit from the audience and from like people making comments, and you're seeing that I've seen a little bit on Hannah, but mainly on Tiffany, that people are like, like they're not playing as well as the guys, or they're betraying the guys. They shouldn't be playing certain ways, and it's like that's not right.
Exactly, it's not right. But obviously,
especially when I think that they might be playing better. Like I think, like in some ways, Tiffany's game has been fascinating to watch. So I love people that play, and she's and make good TV. And she knew, talking to that camera, she's making good TV.
Yes. Tiffany's the show. Like, sorry guys. Like, I know everybody wants Xavier to win, but Xavier isn't the show. This show is about Tiffany. The whole season's about her. She's the star. Like, so get over your misogynoir and like respect Tiffany for the fact that she has made the season. This season would have been nothing without Tiffany. It's just facts. That's even more reason to appreciate Tiffany's game. Exactly. She can see what's going on and is still riding for the cause. Absolutely. I mean, she would be playing better. She would have set herself up way better if she wasn't playing for the cause. She would have been 100% there to win it, and it would have been easy for her. So this is a lot more challenging for her to play like the cause and trying to win at the same time. Tiffany thinks and says a lot of things. Judge her by her actions. She supports the cookout. Mm-hmm. She would be doing a lot of things different if she didn't. Sorry, I've been busy, but I catch your reach-outs. Aw, thanks, Dolores. Agreed, Phil. Going all the way to the 6 will be terrible for Tiff and Hannah's game, which sucks, but they're going to do it for the cause. Yes, I think Hannah's in a better position than Tiffany. I think Hannah can scoot like her way to the final 2 just because no one's going to take a shot at Hannah, I don't think. She might go up as like a renom, but I just don't think, I can't see anybody nominating Hannah. But Tiffany and Azza, I can see people nominating them easily.
Yeah. You know? But you know, I'm putting some good mojo out there, good energy. I think Tiffany, I mean, wouldn't it be great if Tiffany made it to the finals? Like, it would be wonderful. Like, but you know, there are situations she could win the at the 6, and if she wins at the 6, that could change the whole direction of the game. Hannah could win. I don't think Hannah would necessarily go after Tiffany at 6. You know, I don't know. Also, I mean, a lot of people see Derek and Azza as a unit. People may say we need to get rid of that unit. So it depends what gets talked about. There's some things there, and I have heard people are thinking X and Kai are both like the threat, and one of them needs to go. So
I'm just thinking though that track record wise, it doesn't seem like they're winners here. Like it just seems like and Xavier will most likely win those competitions just from what we've seen up until this point.
Yeah.
So Sophie wants to know.
I will say, don't you think though? Also, Tiffany, because she's played such a good game right now. When it comes to the jury, she's got a good. The people that are already on the jury, well, actually, I don't know. Brittany, maybe not so much, but I definitely think Derek X is going to be pulling for her.
Wait, sorry, what? What's the question?
On the jury, do you think like Derek X would be pulling for her? Claire would be pulling for her
to win.
To win.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Wins. I think Tiffany wins against anybody in the end. I just don't think she's going to get there. I think that Xavier and Derek F will all take her out. So I just like if she doesn't win, I think that she's on the block, and I think she would be the person that would go home. So he has to win at least at 6. She needs to win. Her or Hannah or Azza needs to win the double eviction or triple eviction or whatever that is. That's what I think. Okay, so Sophie, how the veto competition is going to work is that they'll play it. Whoever wins it. I think that they can still choose who they want to take off the block, but then the renom will be done by the secret head of household.
But for the veto itself, and like because they don't know it's I mean, from the game's point, they don't know it's Claire.
I'm not 100% sure, but I think only the nominees will each get a chip, and then it'll be 3 random chips from everybody else.
Okay.
So it won't be like the head of household picks a chip. Like I think the 3 nominees. The 3 nominees.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the 3 nominees will each pick a chip. That's what I think, and everybody will be in the bag. That's my guess.
Does Claire get to play in next week's HOH? I noticed that they said she doesn't, but wouldn't that then reveal that she's
apparently supposed to throw it, or maybe it's going to be a competition where there's a way that she can not win. So people have been speculating that if it's like slip and slide, that she'll go for the safety or whatever, like the smaller bottle to fill up, instead of the head of household. Maybe it's something like that. Maybe it's something timed where she just will time out and like she won't be able to see how well she did. Or yeah, I think what I've heard on the feeds is that they've asked her to throw it. So, but I don't know what the competition is going to be, which is annoying.
Okay.
Just let her play. Who cares? Veto has been completed. Yes, BB. Phil doesn't get spoiled here, so
I know. But
end though, just in case people don't want to get spoiled yet. But the women need to continue the steamroll. I know, but they're going to take 2 women out. And it's going to be 3-3. This is how it's going to be. Who will win or who won? Okay, we'll tell you at the end. Oh, I see that BB already told you. It's no problem. Okay. A lot of the hate is racist, yes, but also jealousy because those racists are also lazy. The Cookout is full of intelligent, professional, accomplished, beautiful Black people. This is really true. They are all playing well. Like, yes, it's a steamroll, but they're being as kind as you really can be to the other people that are not at the Cookout. We've seen a lot of these big alliances. They're pretty nasty, the people that are not in the main alliances. And so it is nice to see that, there's so much respect for the people's parachute or their plus ones in this game. And so I think that I do agree there's a little bit of jealousy that these Black people that are looked down upon by society are able to come together, being amazing people on their own, but come together and still, even though they have differences and they don't get along fully, they're still able to put that aside and get to the end. So it's very impressive.
Very impressive. And I'm looking forward to games, where everybody, every game is different. But let's make sure that the casting, we've learned that it can be a good show if you put good focus on the casting and put the right people in it, right?
Wow.
Novel, instead of putting the same people, that are the typecast roles that are every time, maybe if you actually go out and put some work into the casting, you might get a good show.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought Black people could be interesting and bring something new to the table? Sheena says 2 snaps and a throw of Black people on TV doing it big. Yes, we're here for it. Yeah. Absolutely.
And I do want to say, I hope also we get to see, this has been great. I do want to also say that we need to see more Asian Americans on there as well, because that I know based after the last year and a half, there's been a lot of hate that's gone towards that community, based on the coronavirus and everything that went out, especially in the States. There was a lot. I think we need to see that because it's not acceptable that there was only. Well, I know Hannah was part. But we need to continue focusing on this and bringing in people, right? And not just one.
Yeah.
From
representing.
If you have to increase the numbers in the house, do it. But come on, let's make it work.
Well, I liked everybody on this cast, but did we really need Travis?
Right.
I don't know. We could have maybe had
Travis, Brent, and Christian at the beginning when we were going through the cast. We were like, these 3 are interchangeable. Now, Christian, I ended up liking more than I thought I would, but I think we could have got somebody else there.
Laura said, so Claire said in the feeds that she needs to throw the head of household comp, otherwise the second person will win head of household. Okay, yeah. So then she should just play, and then whatever happens. It really depends on what the competition is, but that's so annoying though. It's Phil said he already knew.
I do. No, I do. Sometimes I go to
pressed it. Yeah.
Joker's updates. I go to Joker's updates and read.
Hi, Anna. Thanks for being here. So yes, with the Cookout, they got anyone who would have posed a threat out early. Frenchie, Brent would have been a problem. Absolutely. They did a really good job, and I'm very impressed by how effective the Cookout have been. I've just wanted to have some people go up against them, give them some trouble.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. From
yes,
a game point.
Sorry, what?
Right?
Yeah,
Like from a game. From a game.
Not the cause.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's correct. I would love a season with a lot more Asian, actually, absolutely Asian American people enjoy watching Big Brother as well, and would love to see someone that looks like them representing them. Like, it's just,
yeah,
you know. Agreed, Phil. I also wish that they would put more Spanish people.
I agree with that too.
I'm Spanish, so I might be fancy to that. Me too.
I agree with that, Dolores. Yeah.
I've always had a crush on Latino men. So I'd love to have somebody that maybe has an accent. There's barely anyone that even has an accent on there. Like, when I'm thinking about Canada, like, there's so many people from different backgrounds and whatnot that speak other languages. Like, I would love to have a little bit more of that kind of diversity as well, like culturally and language wise. It'd be very fun. I love seeing subtitles when I see Big Brother. Like Big Brother Canada, there's a lot of times there's French speaking people, and there might be more than one, and so they'll do little side conversations in French. And like, I speak French, but I do love seeing the subtitles. It means that, like, it's just more, it's more flavor, more, it's just, depth. It's depth. So representation matters, absolutely, and it's important to see East and Southeast Asian people represented too. Yep, 100%. Christian is a huge surprise and biggest cheerleader of the Cookout. Yes, exactly, BB. I love that too. Hi, Jose. Thanks for being here. So BB23 is giving me BB22 All-Stars vibes with the Big Alliance. I don't see that at all, actually. Because in that game, it was all just run by Cody. Cody just won everything. The Cookout hasn't actually won all the competitions. They've managed to set themselves up so that even if they don't win, they're still going to be safe. And that's not something really that the committee did last season. Do you agree?
I actually don't agree with sorry, Jose. I don't agree with this because, like, Big Brother 22 All-Stars, I mean, it was all planned out beforehand anyways. Most of the people knew who was going in the house. They were talking to each other. This alliance was a bunch of friends that knew each other in that one beforehand. Like, I don't know. I found that season was so hard to watch. Like, I stopped watching at points. Like, I couldn't watch it. And this season, I've just been very interested in watching. I don't know. I agree, big alliance. Like, but I think that they've done more. I agree with Chantele. Like, I mean, they've had plans of, like, having that partner and having that strategy. And they weren't always, like, winning everything to stay safe. I mean, again, the Big Brother fun games that they throw in there never seem to really do anything, just like every season. But
Edison, feel free to answer, not to answer, but will you still be going on Taryn's updates again, or are you just focused on your own channel? I usually go on once a week is what I've been doing. I didn't go on last week, but I did the roundtable Tuesday night, so I will be on Tuesday morning. I'll be doing the updates. But yeah, I've been doing at least once a week on the Rob as a podcast. So still hanging with them. Anytime they ask me, I'll always say yes. I love everybody at Rob as a podcast. They really open my eyes to podcasting in general. So, like, I will always say yes. Like, I'm a huge fan. I was a huge fan for years beforehand. My mom's a huge fan. So it was a dream of mine. I was on my bucket list to host the live feed updates with Tara. And I, like, 3 years ago, I think I was like, I'm going to do that one day. And my mom reminded me of this and saying, like, you said that, you know, that you really wanted to do the morning updates with Taryn. And so now I have. So I will always say yes anytime they ask me. And the only reason why I'm not doing any of the after the episode is what I'm doing on my own channel. So, like, today, I said that, like, I'm not available for right after the episode because I would like to do it on my own channel. But in general, I am 100%.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. You didn't go do it tonight. I wouldn't have been on there with you. So you brought me on. Oh,
exactly.
She says that though to keep me on my toes, so I know that like she's got other choices.
Whenever he wants me, you could be replaced. Yes, I do also love that Hannah's father is from India. That's definitely I would love to hear a little bit more about her culture and her background, but they might have had it on the feeds, but I haven't seen it yet. All right, let's talk about this episode a little bit with like 20 minutes to spare here. So we see Asa, Claire, and Tiffany celebrating in the storage room. I loved that whole scene. It just felt really great because, you know, they weren't obviously as happy when Sarah Beth won, you know, because of what she was likely going to be doing. But they were really excited that Tiffany won because they knew that they were all going to be safe. And so I loved seeing them looking gorgeous, jumping around in the storage room. How did you feel about Kyland crying to Derek F and Azza about having to evict Derek X?
In general, because there was a couple people that were crying about it. Yes, it's nice, but I don't know. I kind of am like enough with the crying about it. You guys are responsible for him going, so I'm not as like sympathetic towards.
Exactly. I mean, I know that the people, because they're doing it for the cause, and if they weren't doing it for their cause, they would never be doing this. So I kind of understand a little bit as to why him and also Hannah were kind of feeling like kind of upset by it. But for Hannah, I mean, she's such a sweet girl, but she really pushed him out the door. She didn't need to let him go that early. Someone else could have lost their person before Derek X, but she was really pushing for it. And so, not that I want her to feel bad, but she didn't need to make that decision right now, right today. Like, it didn't have to happen this way. So it's kind of like, well, don't be upset. Like, you pushed him out the door. Like, instead of just like letting maybe things take its course and he goes out when he goes out, she made it happen. And so, like, that's probably what she should be feeling bad about, is that you made it happen. But she didn't have to. Not in the same way.
Yeah.
So Kylan is crying in the diary room. As Sarah Beth was hurt by Derek X's speech. They didn't show this in the episode, but he actually thought that Derek X had said, when he was talking about somebody that he was going to come and target, he thought he said Stone Cold, I think it was. But he said Nicole, he said Nicole F or something. I can't remember what.
Nicole F, yeah.
And she thought she said, cold as F is what she thought he says.
Oh.
So he's like, because Kylan was comforting her and be like, well, or I don't know if it was Kylan or Xavier. Sorry, I can't remember right now. But one of the two guys were comforting her, being like, well, like, she compared you to like a BB legend. He's like, what? No, she didn't. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. And then like she thought he said cold as F, but really he said Nicole F, which is funny. Very funny.
Well, would you want to be? Well, I guess she won. I guess that's. But I don't know.
Out of all the female winners, I think she would be the least that I would like to be compared to.
Yes.
Yeah, I think, or maybe Jordan. I wouldn't want to be compared to Jordan.
Yeah.
Okay, so Sarah Beth wants to wait. What did I write here? I don't know what I wrote there. So I'm just going to. She wants to make it official. So there's this foursome that kind of, comes together. So it's Sarah Beth, it's Kyland, it's Xavier, and Alyssa. She wants to make this foursome official. It's called the Monarchy. How far do you think the Monarchy is going to go?
I think that they'll be losing a member this week.
Agreed. Definitely not long for this world. So Alyssa, though, is talking to Sarah Beth. I think she was sitting with Xavier, and Sarah Beth was there, and she thinks that the nominations with Tiffany being head of household is either going to be Kylan and Sarah Beth, or maybe even Xavier and herself. And then Xavier reminds her of like, oh no, I had to go up anyways. And so that just kind of makes it seem very clear that Sarah Beth and Kylan are, even from Alyssa's standpoint, that they would be the people that she should be targeting right now. So
yeah,
at least Alyssa knows that that's what's going to be going down without Tiffany having to like sell her on this idea. So Tiffany needs Tylen's help, and this is to be put up on the block. And like, I thought it was interesting that Kylan didn't really want to be put up on the block, and it's like, no, you're gonna have to be put up on the block because this is what the Cookout needs to do. And so, what do you think about Kylan like not really wanting to do his part?
Well, didn't he though when it first started? Didn't he say you're going to put up me and Sarah Beth?
Yeah, I think he's just like nervous.
He's like, okay. Well, I mean, they've all sort of have this agreement, so he's gonna have. It does make sense to put him up there with her. I mean, it'd be worse if he had to vote her out. You know, so we can look at that way.
Sympathy vote.
Yeah, like I mean, I don't know. I don't see what's really that bad. He knows. I mean, the numbers. There's nothing really that can happen unless people turn. And it doesn't look like, I don't think anybody's turning for Sarah Beth. Kylan would be the person that would turn it for Sarah Beth. So it makes sense to put him on.
Exactly. Sorry, Kylan. Like, you're going to be put up against your buddy. That's just how it's going to go. And then we see the scene with Tiffany and Hannah. That was, I thought, was so heartwarming. Like, I know that he just said that, like, Hannah, you pushed him out the door. Like, you could have just let things go a little more easily. But she does feel really guilty. And he's like, when she won, she looked down and she saw the bracelet that Derek X gave her, and then she won head of household, and she like, he's gonna forgive us and forgive you, and she's like, we played for each other. Like it so happens that we couldn't keep him in this game, but we're playing this game for us and for each other, and we've stuck true for them with that. And so they hope that Derek X is going to forgive them.
Stop talking about that bracelet, Tiffany. Don't talk about that bracelet to people. That's a jury vote for you, Tiffany. Don't let people know that you've got that jury vote.
The bracelet. So at the end of this conversation, Tiffany's like, you are my family in here. And I actually got choked up because with how hard it is to be letting these friends, these are true friends. Hannah said in the diary room, if it wasn't for the Cookout, she would have gone to the end with Derek X. Like, he would do anything for her. And so she's definitely in a difficult position. And it just is very heartwarming that, you know, she has to choose the Cookout over like her heart in this situation. So okay, Derek F is a person that really is irritating me, because he says his first confessional this episode. He's like, if it wasn't for the Cookout, Tiffany would be out. I'd make sure of it. I'm like, what? You would not be able to. Yeah. How would you have done this? How would you have made sure that Tiffany was gone?
I don't know. I mean, he hasn't done it. Well, I guess America's votes would help him. I mean, that's the only confidence that he could have. Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, he hasn't done much else. So, I don't know. Decision-wise.
That was my eye roll for Derek F, the first one.
Yeah.
So Tiffany and Sarah Beth have a conversation, and Tiffany's very calm when she's speaking to her, and like the amount of calmness she is, so like a mob boss that's ready to kill somebody. It's like terrifying. I'd be terrified if I was Sarah Beth going in and having this conversation. But she's like, you jeopardize my game indirectly. You cut my legs off. And he's like, you knew that I was really close with Derek X Sinclair. Look what you've done. And I'm like, oh my God, it's so mob boss. Like how, like, you know, you took out your right hand man, and now I'm gonna take you out. Revenge. It was pretty
smart.
Of course, but it's cold.
So great. It's all, as she's saying, it's all game. I'm going after you because it's all game. It's smart.
Mm-hmm.
It's not personal.
So then we see Tiffany's head of household room. I love the chanting, tippy toes, tippy toes, tippy toes. She got Beyonce, the Lemonade album. Big D was really excited and like said that he was going to cry, which was hilarious. I did tear up when she was reading her letter from her family because, like, especially as an older person, you know, it's interesting to see that she still wants the love and approval of what's it called, Mama Pat.
Mama Pat. She wants to hear that she's making her proud, which is right. I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah, so I teared up there too. So this episode got me all teary-eyed for a couple of different reasons. Sarah Beth has a few more things that he wants to say to Tiffany after her head of household reveal. So she starts throwing Alyssa under the bus, and how Tiffany recounted, like she's like, he threw her under the bus, like she rolled her over back, like she is in ICU, she is dead. Like I loved her analogy around throwing Sarah.
She's dead. She's dead.
Like she's so golden. She's just so entertaining. But yeah, like clearly Sarah Beth has no loyalty to Alyssa, or that's what she's making it seem. No. And Tiffany walks into the bathroom and she was like, she's like kind of convinced me, which is also a big reason to be like, get her out of here.
Yeah. Yeah.
She can convince Tiffany, who's not been a fan for the last month.
Right. And part of that, I'm sure she's trying to let's make sure Sarah Beth is going. She's basically told those two, Sarah Beth is good at manipulating. She almost got me. And she's like, and she's a traitor. She's throwing people under the bus. Get her out.
Which is Tiffany like pushing her under the bus and just being like, it wasn't me, it was the wind. Love it. So the nominations are no surprise. Tiffany nominates, obviously Xavier has to go on the block because he's the third nominee, which was a very stupid thing for him to do. But anyways, he's the third nominee this week. And then she nominates Kyland and Sarah Beth. No surprise from anyone at all. So Tiffany, though, has a conversation with Sarah Beth after and is lying to her face about Kyland being her target. And she does a really good job. And I think it was on the feed. She was saying like, man, like I just lied to Sarah Beth's face.
Did she believe it?
Yeah, I think she believes it.
She did.
I mean, enough. She says in her confessional, like, she could be lying to me, but she did a pretty good job. And she's like, Sarah Beth was good though. She's smart with how she's like, I really appreciate how candid you've been and how like honest that you've been. And so like, I like that she kind of threw that in there, the gratitude, because I feel like it's a little bit like they're caging each other, you know? They're just like, what's her name? Sarah Beth is in like, she's not in a powerful position at all. And so it's interesting to watch them interact because Sarah Beth is really cowering, but she's still trying to do her best. So I'm happy that she's putting an effort, obviously. So the high
throwing Kyland. Yeah. Is she like going after Kyland? Oh, the room. Yes, the room. No, go ahead. The room.
What were we gonna say?
No, I was just wondering, but it was like maybe spoilers. But I was just wondering, like, has she at all turned on Kyland at all, or is she?
I haven't seen anybody in the chat see if Sarah Beth has turned on Kyland yet. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if she said things like he's a bigger threat, like, you know, he could win out, stuff like that, like the obvious stuff, because she wants to stay over him, which she has stated. But I haven't seen anything personally, but I haven't been like glued to the feeds as I was in the beginning. Okay, so quickly to run through. So Azza gets $50 from America. She had $50 in her envelope. In total, she has $200. She cannot play for the Coin of Destiny. Xavier gets $75 from America, $50 in his envelope. His total is only $125. Alyssa gets $75. She gets $100 in her envelope, and her total is $175. While this is happening, Alyssa tells Tiffany that Claire should win, which I thought was very smart. Was if Claire wins, she would not be able to play head of household, and it would allow them to be all 6 Cookout members to play head of household, and only Alyssa would be a person that could foil something. So I thought this was smart of her to recognize that Claire should be the person that wins this. That's smart.
Yeah, very smart.
And Claire is fine with this. Like, she wants to win because she doesn't want somebody else to overturn Tiffany's head of household. She doesn't care if she can't play next week. She doesn't want to risk going up this week. So Claire is willing to win it. So Hannah gets $100 and she got $50 in her envelope. In total, she has $300. So she declines to play for this reasoning. Kylan, $50 from America, $100 in his envelopes. He only has $200 in total. Tiffany gets $100 from America, $50 in her envelope. In total, she only has $225, so she wouldn't be able to play anyways. Sarah Beth gets $50, $100 in her envelope. She only has a total of $200. She is ineligible to play. So Tiffany pulls Derek F aside and tells him not to play. And he seemed to understand the reasoning behind it, but he doesn't like being told what to do. I think, especially not from Tiffany, and maybe even not from a woman. I'm not sure, but he doesn't seem to want to play with the women. And so he doesn't care. He's going to do what he wants to do. So Derek F gets $75. He had $100 from his envelope, and he gets $100 from the veto competition from last episode. So he has 425 big brother bucks, and he decides to play the game, but he's going to throw it. Now, do you think he only threw it because he was bad? Like, threw it?
Yeah, I mean, why bother playing? Like, you could tell people that you played. Like, they're never going to know. So you could just be like, I did play. So it's not like they have the bucks after. They're all gone now. So exactly. I don't know. Why bother even doing that?
Been maybe more interesting. I'm not sure. If, like, nobody played and the twist just was like a flop because then nobody wanted to change the nominations.
Right.
Because it was a flop. The twist is a flop. Basically, it just means that Claire can't play head of household next week. That's the only thing that happened with this twist.
Yeah.
That's it. So Derek F only gets one gold coin into the slot within 2 minutes. Claire goes up. She gets $100 from America, $50 in her envelope. She has a total of 250 Big Brother bucks. She is playing for sure. She decides to go fast and furious. She gets 3 coins in the slots in the 2 minutes. So we know that Claire has won the opportunity to flip a coin to win the coin of destiny.
That's right.
Say again?
That's right. Pretty exciting. It's very dramatic.
Very dramatic. Yes, they had a coin flipper. Like, why can't you just throw it up in the air? Not sure. I thought that they were going to maybe rig it to make sure that it does get land, but they did say that the player chose, was it heads? Heads. And so that does make it seem like they didn't put like a weighted side or something just to make sure that they won. So she presses it and everybody's like, I wonder if they filmed that separately though, because like it was totally in slow motion. I just feel like it would be going too fast. Like, I don't think that so I wonder if they just like made them like follow something so they could do that shot. And it led, and that means that the head of household has been overturned, and Claire, well, nobody knows it's Claire, is going to make the new nominations. And no surprise, she keeps the nominations exactly the same, and it is Kylan and Sarah Beth.
The new old nominations.
Yes.
Do you think that was the right call for Claire? Was that the right thing? Should she have changed it up, or should she have kept it the same?
She wasn't cold. She was firm. I'm not mad at cold. I like cold. Firm, cold, like fine. Like she was just like. Yeah. Sorry. What'd you say, Phil?
Do you think she should have made a move? Because, I mean, it was anonymous. Should she have done something? I mean, she had been talking with Derek X last week. There's this chance that there's this alliance out there.
I don't think that she should have done anything. Like, what does she do? Put up Derek F? I mean, that would be delicious.
But, Sarah Beth put her up. Sarah Beth just put her up. So,
yeah, I think that if anybody else had won this head of household, she would have maybe put a move. But because she didn't want to disrupt Tiffany's head of household, her closest ally, which she mentions many times. Like, I think that because of the circumstances, she was never going to make a move. And
right.
I don't think it would have been better for her game necessarily to do it, because she would just have been enemy number one. She would have the Cookout all be mad at her, you know, without her even knowing that she's going to piss everybody off. Like, so yeah, it would have ended up, I think, being worse for her. We know that she's going to be out next, or the episode after, most likely, but I think that they would have been gunning for her next week if she had made that move. It would have been bad news. All right, so I think that the High Roller room is closed, so BB Bucks are canceled. Yes, it's over completely. Thank goodness. It was a flop of a twist. Or all 3 weeks sucked. I would have rather like a double eviction and a battle back. Like, it would have been more interesting to me. Like, even the battle back, like how what's his name? Victor had to do it, like something like that. Like, I don't know. Not that I love battle backs, but I really didn't love this High Roller twist. I think it really stifled any potential gameplay from people that weren't in the Cookout.
Which is usually the way.
No, she's pretty much the same by his side all the time. So, okay, sorry, what did I miss? I missed that.
We asked if Sarah Beth was turning.
Yeah. By the side. I would like to see her turn on Kylan this week. It's boring otherwise. I mean, she's going to turn a little bit, but she's not going to go hard, I don't think. Because she also thinks that she's not the target, right?
Yeah. It would be good TV, though.
Wouldn't it? Derek X and Claire still do not know about the Cookout, question mark, or is this a statement? Well, Derek X knows from Kylan that there is an alliance that's been going on since day one that is still in the house that he wasn't a part of. So he said the Cookout without saying the Cookout. And I think that could cause Kylan to lose some jury votes, because they made a pact they weren't going to mention it in their goodbye interviews or videos. And so the twist was meant to hand more power to those not in the Cookout, but they were too cocky to take the bait. Yeah. The mist in there is too strong. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the fact that Hannah convinced Derek X not to play and said that she was going to play. Like, that is really the reason why he didn't play, because he was going to play. He didn't feel safe. And Hannah's like, no, you save your money, play for the Coin of Destiny next week. I'll play this week. And she didn't play, and he was taken out. So I don't know if it's the mist or if it's the fact that his closest ally, he would never expect her to be lying to him in this capacity.
And that could be seen as a game-winning move for Hannah. I mean, there's going to be more coming, but that was a good move for Hannah in some way.
Derek X, sorry, I forced you out of this game. Like, she'd lose his vote for sure.
I don't know if she does it by gameplay, and I think he would respect it if she does it the right way, and says, like, I had to do this to you to get you out because you were so strong.
So Sophie says the twist was stupid. It reminded them of when they did something like this a few seasons ago. I don't remember. They've done so many things sort of like this. Like, was it the halting hex? Like, what was that?
Every twist, it's always never goes right. It's great.
I mean, yeah.
I think that should be a podcast right there, Chantele. You should do a podcast of what twists at Big Brother actually worked. That were like so hyped up, and what like over all the years. And it's probably like 5.
I mean, the twists that I like were season-long twists. So I didn't mind like the people playing in pairs. I didn't mind people having their exes in the house. Like, those were like interesting to me. Or having like, you know, Nokomis being there with her half brother, not knowing, like, that was interesting to me. Even like the Adria and I forget her sister's name right now.
Natalie.
Natalie, like, switching out. Like, I found that was interesting enough. It didn't land when they did it with Julia and what's her sister's name?
Liz.
Liz, look at you knowing all the twins' names. The less famous twin. So yeah, like that, it didn't really land well that season, but I don't mind season-long twists like that. That I find it's a little bit interesting because it's a dynamic that is consistent. But I don't enjoy them trying to shake things up because it actually just stifles gameplay.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, there's so many. I mean, the MVP twist. I remember that never worked because it only went to one person every week. It went to Alyssa.
I mean, I liked Alyssa, so I was like happy that.
Yeah, but the twist itself didn't really actually work properly. It was like,
not at all. The non-up win moves manipulation by the Cookout members are just as valuable as the comp win. Yeah. No, though I think they're more valuable. Like the fact that they did not need to win every single competition and they were still able to completely get out 10 other people before them it definitely is extraordinary. It just
and not be detected, like not be like that alliance is real. Like, yeah, that's amazing.
So yeah, it definitely takes over. It's over more impressive than comp wins, absolutely. But not having any power or not having power all the time and still being able to do so well, it's very impressive. People will be studying the Cookout's moves for years to come. Well, Phil, it's been quite a slice. Is there anything else about the episode that we didn't mention yet that you want to talk about? Where you got your coins?
The coin challenge, right? They're throwing the coins.
I know, but where do you find them? Like, is it just regular coins? Is it the exact same ones? I
don't know. No, they're not the exact same ones. No, just regular. That would be really good. That would be really fast, though, I think, for the internet. But no, I mean, I'm looking forward to Thursday. I'm looking forward to Wednesday. It's going to be good. I'm excited to see what happens.
Kylan is saying he would put Alyssa and Xavier up. Yes, Claire. Ooh. Claire getting to 7 is very good because she's owed a win, and that would be delicious for me if Claire won at 7. It's like it would force Tiffany to win the game. You know what I mean? Like right now, Tiffany's not in a winning position, but she's done the most work, in my opinion, for the whole season. So if Claire won there, she would be putting up Xavier and Kylan. One of them would be going home because they don't have any other extraneous people to, try to get out. And that would just shake things up. And then Tiffany would be allowed to take some shots. So that'd be very great.
We're getting there. We are getting to the point where it's going to be like, what's going to happen? I'm excited.
It's all going to be happening in one episode, and you're just like, oh.
Yeah. I'm not that excited about that.
Phil, do you have a games night coming up?
Nothing huge. It
would never happen, Bean. Never.
What if though? Like, who knows? No, there's too many people.
No, she wouldn't do it to Tiffany. Not there. Maybe at Final 4, like I know I can't beat you kind of thing. Final 3, maybe, but I don't see right now. I think she'd rather lose to Tiffany than go through the rest of the game without her.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Games night.
No, I mean, obviously you can follow Good Time Games with Adam and Phil on Facebook. We do games nights for people. And we do fun one-night games as well that we sort of based loosely off reality shows. We have one that we call Tagged. We'll be doing one in September. Date not quite set yet, but we'll let you know soon. Yeah. No, I mean, this is how... Oh, did you watch... Are you watching RuPaul All-Stars? Like, we're coming up to the last week. Who are you rooting for? I've enjoyed this season. It's been all right.
I mean, I liked it, but it's a little flat. I'm not like wowed by, remember how fun I found the UK season? Like I was excited every outfit and like what they're bringing to the table and their humor that they're bringing. I don't know if it's just because it's different or and their humor and they have accents. Like I don't know if it's that whole combo that made me enjoy it more. But the season has been kind of like it's supposed to be like all stars and like it's just okay. It's an okay season. So for me, I think I'm rooting for Raja. I liked her naked jumpsuit. I thought that was innovative. Like the half of it, like
yeah.
I thought that was cool. I think she's been pretty consistent. I think that Sonique is beautiful, but she's falls a little flat. And who's the last two people?
Ginger and Eureka.
I like Ginger more than I like Eureka. Ginger could win this. Ginger could win. She's funny. She wins. It seems like she wins more. She's in the top more. Like I think that Ginger has been very strong all season. So Ginger could win. So I think Raja, I would be more interested in her winning. But I could see Ginger winning.
Nice. I think that Raja has had. This has been a good thing for Raja because I think her time on her season, a lot of people left not liking her, and I think she's really. I mean, she's amazing. Like I've always heard good things about her in when she performs. So it was nice to see. I think she's done great. I think Sonique, that's another person who the first time when she was on Drag Race all those years ago was somebody who was like, and she's completely turned it around and has found who she is. And I'm rooting for either one of those two. I think they've been the ones that I'm going for. So I'm excited.
Amazing. Maybe we'll do like an end of season wrap up after the finale. We can talk about the season or something.
Well, Drag Race UK is coming out. It's being filmed, so we'll do that for sure.
We'll cover that for sure. Like I love the UK so much more.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, guys. Thank you, BB. And thanks for everybody for being here in the chat. You know we love talking to you about all things reality TV. In today's case, it's Big Brother US Season 23. I know you guys have all done this already, but please subscribe, be part of our family here. This is our own cookout, this is the Reality Realness Cookout. So please subscribe, leave a like or a thumbs up on this video and a comment. So do you think that, what should my comment be? Do you think that that Tiffany is going to win again next week? Do you think that Tiffany has a shot at winning the game if she doesn't win her way out? And if Tiffany doesn't win, who do you want to win this season?
Nice.
Ooh, I want Tiffany to win. Okay. I really do. I feel like
I want Tiffany to win. I mean, X is my person on the draft, but Tiffany, and when it comes as a viewer and enjoying the show, Tiffany is the person, and she better be asked back for an All-Stars game where she can play her own game because I want to see it because she's such a smart player. So
yes, me too. Definitely would love to see her on an All-Star season. Yes, that's another question, guys. Who would you like to see on an All-Star season from this cast? Let us know, and then we will see you again on Wednesday where we'll be chatting with Jonathan about the veto ceremony. Dun, dun, dun. Hi, everybody. Thanks, everybody in the chat. Love y'all.